Welcome to this video today, which is all about Forex trading for beginners and avoiding a fatal trading error. I'm going to come to the error in a moment, but first of all I wanted to give a story just to illustrate the error. And it's about one of the most influential tipsters in financial markets of all time. And he's not very well known at all. His name is Patrick Bologna. So who was he? Well, he was a shoeshine boy on Wall Street in the 20s. And because of his position, on the street, he had all the great traders, investors of the day come to him to have their shoes shined. The list was big. I mean, he had people like Joe Kennedy, William Crapo Durant, Ben Selim Smith, Bernard Baruch, just to name a few. And he actually, when he was chatting to these guys, he would like to, get tips or give tips to his customers, and he fancied himself as an investor, and he actually obviously made quite a reasonable amount of money because of his position, and he actually invested on Wall Street. And there's a couple of famous stories about Bologna, and the first is that Joe Kennedy came in and he sat down, said hello to Bologna. Bologna was actually still reading the Wall Street Journal, and Bologna turned to him and said, "Do you want a tip?" He goes, "Yeah, sure, what is it?" He goes, "Buy oil and rails, they're going to the sky." So what does Kennedy do? Goes back to his office, he sells oil and rails and makes a lot of money. The other famous story of Bologna is Bernard Baruch came up. This is just before the crash. And he's talking to Bologna. And Bologna is saying, yeah, I'm making tons of money on the street at the minute, doing really well. And basically my investments are going great and there's no way they're coming down. And, I've been talking to so-and-so and so-and-so and so. And Baruch actually went home to his wife and he said, when the shoeshine boy thinks money making is easy, it ain't. He sold out before the crash and then he made more money by shorting it. So what is the moral of the story? Well, the moral of the story is, taking tips is not a good idea, and basically the crowd is always wrong. Now, in relation to this, when beginners come in to the market, what they want to do is they want to get tips on trades. And there's a huge industry in this online. And I think it was Brian Gelber said, fatal error that beginners make is they beg tips. They don't want to do it for themselves. They go to people they think know better. I had someone come to me the other day and said, do you go to dailyfx.com? It's a really good site for beginners like myself, really good tips. I said, well, yeah, I do go over there. He goes, well, how do you find it? I normally just go over there to see what everyone else is doing and do the opposite if possible. You couldn't quite figure that out. And I always think, the public gets what the public wants. And by that, I mean, the public want easy money. They want to delegate responsibility. So if you took, for example, dailyfx.com, they've got all these predictive strategies. Any serious investor knows they don't work. They've got grand names for their analysts, like, senior quantitative strategist or senior fundamental strategist or whatever it is. It's run by a broker. The broker wants to give the public the sort of impression that you can follow these so-called experts, get their tips and win. Now, it's not the only site. There's plenty of sites like that around on the net, and they're all hugely popular. You will never come in and trade Forex by taking tips from someone else and win long term. I mean, it's just something that I think people should think about before they trade Forex. We have a very competitive business, and it's not for people who are not prepared to get an education and not prepared to do their own analysis and thinking. You have to do that. You have to do your own analysis and thinking. Sure, your trading strategy can be simple, but you do need to understand it, have the confidence and discipline to follow it. So my first advice for beginners is you must get your education. You must learn a strategy for yourself. Do not follow anyone else. I'm just going to finish off this video actually with what actually happened to Patrick Bologna, because I just found it quite entertaining. He basically, after he lost all his money on Wall Street in his investments, he still carried on shining shoes. He was a hard-working guy. He made a lot of money, put his kids through private school, and his daughter went to one of the best colleges. And he actually started writing an investment newsletter, but it was written in a different way. It was very tongue-in-cheek, and it was written in a kind of rhyming language, and it did have some wisdom about it. And think how true this phrase is today. If you want to stay one step ahead, keep your eye on the Fed. Very, very true. Now, I don't think you can make money following any tip sheet or site that throws up, sort of trading ideas. You just have to do it for yourself. I think the lesson from Patrick Bologna is what Bernard Baruch said. Easy money, it ain't. Of course, it's possible, but you need your education. So learn from Patrick Bologna if you're just coming in the markets. Thank you very much for watching me as per usual. Take care. Have a good day.